Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show. Alrighty. So you were saying you had seen the remake, but not this one?
Yeah, so I saw the original, the remake, and was always curious about the original. Well, I didn't know there was an original at first. I first saw it. I was like, oh, great. I love a good whodunit, and this is really cool because then they have, after that, the sequel is Death on the Nile, which that's a really great film, too. So, yeah, watching this, you kind of can't help but be, like, somewhat spoiled of what's going to happen. But I think, you know, having the confusion of which character is who, because they're, you know, different actors, obviously. It was interesting, but I still had a lot of fun though watching.
Me too. I had a lot of fun watching that, and now we've left the movie theater and we're on the train. That's the reason I keep coughing. It's because all the smoke from this diesel train engine.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Or coal burning. It's burning coal. It's burning coal.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have the only steam train that Amtrak is still running.
Exactly.
To take us home from the movie theater.
The New England Express.
The New England Express.
Yes. Looks like the train's about to take off. Leave the runway and start flying into the air, as trains do.
Where is our waiter? Because I ordered 5 drinks and I only got 4, and one of them was chipped. One of the glasses was chipped. I don't understand.
Unbelievable.
This is crazy.
Oh, there's our waiter now. Waiter.
Yes.
I'd like an explanation.
It's like, sir,
Mario, explain your situation.
I ordered 5 drinks.
5 drinks?
5 Vesper martinis.
5 Vesper martinis.
And I only have...
You get very drunk with that, sir.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, with a train ride like this, I need to be drunk. This is extremely wobbly. It's cold outside. This is not safe.
It's warm inside the train. Why are you keeping the windows open? You're letting the heat out for everyone else, sir.
Because, frankly, I can't breathe with all this smoke in here.
My name's not Frank Lee.
Then what is your name?
Sean Connery.
Wait. Sean, are you really Sean Connery?
Yes, I've taken up waiting on trains.
I thought you died a couple of years ago.
No, we're in the past.
Oh,
This is the past, don't you know? What year is it? Tell me what year it is.
It's, let me see. Oh, the newspaper right here. Wait, it's November 5th, 1930?
I'll take it.
That explains why the Wi-Fi's not working.
I'll have 3.
3 what?
Of that date. Anyway, you ordered Vesper martinis and there's something wrong with them?
Yes, I'm missing 1 Vesper. I ordered 5 and I only got 4.
I thought you said it was chipped. Or was it a glass full of chips?
It was a glass full of chips.
Damn, salt and vinegar?
The English kind of chips, too. They were French fries. Very greasy.
Oh, French fries. Salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar.
The best kind.
Yes.
I've noticed your compatriot here isn't saying anything. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, you don't need to apologize. Just wondering why you're so quiet. I've got nothing to say. Okay.
Because he's enjoying his drinks that he has. Well, I'm glad they didn't skimp out on straws in 1930.
No, I'm just licking the rim of the glass, slurping on it. He's very weird. I wish he would stop doing that. I have stopped.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he ordered a salt and vinegar rim on his beverage.
Oh, it appears we're about to go through a dark tunnel. Look out, everyone. Whoa, it's so dark. Oh, wow. All right, the light's back. Oh, my God, our waiter is dead.
Mr. Connery, are you okay?
He's dead, Mario.
Okay.
He's been stabbed 12 times.
How?
And his head was cut off.
Oh, no.
I think he's dead.
Why is his head always getting cut off?
Well, he's the Green Knight.
Who's going to deal me my blow?
That's true. Well, no, okay, it should be fine.
Mario, I'm trying to reattach it. It's not working.
Just if we just stare at it long enough, it should get back to his body like in Green Knight. Like
I keep pushing the head back onto the body. It's just squirting blood everywhere. It's not working.
Maybe we should go.
Okay.
Okay.
Back
Let's.
to the other cart.
Yes. Hold on. Let me finish my Vesper Martini.
Yeah, I'll help you.
We paid for these drinks. We gotta finish them all. Okay. Anyways,
Alrighty.
let's get out of here.
You know, I think there's a detective on this plane, train, or automobile, whatever we're on. So let's just get to the other cart of this plane, train, and automobile, and we'll let the detective figure out what happened to old headless Sean here.
They'll never suspect us.
Well, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, we did.
We're just gonna go. You know what? We're just gonna settle. You know, we're just walk past. Hey, it's the Beatles. Just squeeze by them. Excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse. All right, and into our cart here.
The Beatles on this train. I feel like that timeline doesn't match up. That they're on this train.
Well, Mario, we're on a train through the ages, it seems.
Are we on
we're
a time train?
Zigzagging through time. And now we're here in our train cap. Wait a second, there's a person here that, excuse me, sir. Would you mind leaving? Mario and I would like a moment to just sit and chat.
Yes, I do. I travel on this train regularly, twice a week, so I suppose I've some rights.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just sit here with you then.
And don't take that tone with me, young man. I fought the war for your sort.
All right, sir. You don't have to leave. I guess you can just stay here and enjoy the conversation with us. Mario, you cool with that?
Sure. Why not?
An elementary knowledge of the Railway Act would tell you that I'm perfectly within my rights.
Okay.
I need to sit down because I'm really drunk after taking down those 4 Vesper Martinis.
Oh, they've had no effect on me at all. In fact, I think they may have been watered down.
I shall call the guard.
Anyway, let's sit here. Let's cozy up. What do you say we welcome this gentleman here sitting next to us to another episode of Connery Curious? Cue the theme song. Connery Curious!
Science, Last Crusade, You Only Live Twice, and the Anderson Tapes.
Murder on the Orient Express.
You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marty and a woman of straw, an older man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Mario Lima,
Dylan Titus?
welcome to another episode of Connery Curious.
Connery Curious. Yes, guys, you guys already know. Every week we get together here and talk about a film from the iconic Sir Sean Connery. And today we got a fun one, a very fun one.
Very, very fun one.
We are doing 1974's Murder on the Orient Express. I always gotta say it like that because of the theme song.
Murder on the Orient Express.
You never know what the wheel's going to spin next. As you guys know, we do spin the wheel at the end, our Connery Curious Wheel of Curiosities, to pick which film we do next. But last week we hit Murder on the Orient Express, which we're super excited about. I really had a fun time with this. Dylan, how about you?
Mario, I had an absolute blast with this film.
I love a good whodunit. This is so good.
Should we start doing our ratings earlier on, or do we want to hold that? Because sometimes I get so excited to share what my rating is, but then, you know what? We'll just wait.
Wait?
I get so excited.
Well, we'll talk about what the world thinks. We'll go to the Rotten Tomatoes here. Tomato Meter gave it a certified fresh with 90% and audience score of 78%. Very, very beloved film, it seems. People are liking a lot of good reviews on it. Runtime about 2 hours and 7 minutes. It is rated
every minute of it.
Great, yeah. Every minute of it. PG, just PG. Directed by Sidney Lumet. produced by
Lumet.
Lumet. And same thing with our main character. Can never say his name properly. Puree.
Poirot.
Poirot.
Puree.
Puree.
You know this.
Detective Puree.
Poirot. Everyone is calling him Perot in the movie. Everyone is pronouncing it incorrectly.
Yeah. Which that's what got me confused because like we'll get into it.
It is Poirot.
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 Like PWAROW.
I'm gonna write
like
it,
that.
I'm gonna write it on my Murder on the Notes Express. Poirot.
No.
Poirot. Squid Poirot.
Poirot.
Poirot. Squid Poirot. That's an Austin Powers reference. Quick pro crow, Mr. Powers. Yes, Squid Poirot.
I'm second guessing myself. Poirot, right? Hercule Poirot. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah, is there a way we can the pronunciation?
I got it right here. Hercule Poirot. Here, I'll share the screen with you so you can see the exact pronunciation. Boy, I feel dumb, but there is a lot of people in the movie pronouncing it different ways. Hercule Poirot.
Poirot.
Hercule Poirot.
Poirot. Squid.
No. Poirot. PWA.
Poirot. It's
tricky.
It is a tongue twister.
This has been 3 minutes of this podcast.
Just trying to pronounce the main character's name. But yes, Hercule Poirot. Poirot is played by the amazing Albert Finney, which
Finney.
Which what our first Bond connection, who we see in Skyfall.
Yes.
Which is great.
And and there was some rumor that there was that Sean Connery was going to play that role, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting if they did. Just like yeah, one. I mean, it would take you out of the movie, but at the same time, the Craig movies, I feel like it's okay to take you out because it's a separate thing, in my opinion. But I was like that. I was like that scene of like Connery looking out the window and he sees the Aston Martin DB5. He's like, oh, nice car. Just like something like that, a little cute thing.
I'm sure we'll have enough films through watching this filmography where we can edit him into Skyfall and make it work somehow.
This one, spoiler alert for my review, is I could edit a lot of From Russia with Love in this movie.
Oh, of course.
Much.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler for the movie. That's more of a spoiler for From Russia with Love if you didn't know that one of the climaxes of the film takes place on the Orient Express. And there's literally a murder on the Orient Express. That was the mic turning. I just had to adjust the mic if it sounded like a fart in the recording. It was because I farted on the mic as I turned it.
He got up. He has a butt mic that he also uses.
Exactly.
He has two mics.
Mic.
But anyway, so should we get into the plot here?
We shall. Should we? Let's see what the IMDb. Let's see which is.
I think I saw a good
shorter.
one on Wikipedia. I think.
Well, the Wikipedia one's very long. I'm checking the IMDb one right now.
That's a pretty good. IMDb might be the way to go. You got like a big, thick paragraph there.
I don't know. What do you think would be better, to go through the wiki because that'll take us through the plot?
The summary on IMDb looks pretty good. Only because I have a lot to just discuss too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe let's take this one from. Oh wait, there's one with Alfred Molina.
Which one?
Alfred Molina as Poirot. TV movie from 2001.
Really? Oh yeah, 2001. Look at this.
Updated for the 21st century.
Oh wow, look at that. That'll be one to check out too. I might have a marathon where I watch
all of them in a row.
Yeah, the newest one and then the 2001 version. This is to compare how the performances of Poirot, Squid Poirot. I'm just gonna call him Squid Poirot.
Yeah.
Although Alfred Molina, God, I can't say anybody's last name now. Dr. Octopus,
What's your last name?
Mine?
Yeah.
Lima.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, it could be Lima. I've been Lima for many times on many applications. Many doctors have said, Mr. Lima.
I'm just sowing this, watering the seeds of doubt in you.
Yeah, now I don't. What is my name? Alfred Molina does not have as
Alfred Marina.
Albert
Marina.
His mustache is not as intense as
Finney's.
As Finney's, and I mean it gets even more bananas in the newest one with
Branagh.
Yeah, his is crazy. So I love that.
Oh my God, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is a giant mustache.
Like his mustache, like got a credit in the credits for God's sakes. It was a character of its own, but it's really intense, and I love it. But it's a really good film. So you have not seen it.
I have not, but I'm gonna watch it now. I like the cast.
Yeah, because now that you like kind of just looking at it, because I remember most of the cast. So seeing this movie, I'm like, all right. That's Judi Dench's character. Okay, that's Johnny Depp's character. That's who so. So yeah, it's very Willem Dafoe's in that movie too.
But
like
also, it looks
Daisy
far
Ridley.
less interesting than this one.
This one, it's
yeah.
They're very close. They're very close. It's watching this one. It's very. They did watch this film pretty closely. It's pretty close. So you'll see. Obviously, some different things because of this one was in the 70s. So certain quotes, I'm sure we'll talk about later, are a little different in the 2017 version. But other than that, yeah, it's very good. It's a killer cast. So
incredible cast.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it for anybody who's interested and is following these movies with us. If there's a remake of it, yeah, I would definitely consider checking it out.
Huh. Forgive me, I'm just looking through this. Also, I'm noticing that.
And I appreciate it because they use the exact same model train in a new one. So I'm like, they really, it's like, they really.
Well, it is the train. The train's real, the Orient Express.
But yeah.
I'm looking at the poster that's on IMDb, and there's a character missing, and I don't know. It's getting to me. Something's.
A character is missing?
Yeah.
I think they're all there. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's 12.
Well, yeah, there's a few. Anyway, unimportant. Let's get into the film, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So, you want to read the IMDb storyline?
Sure. Let me get to it.
For some reason, there we go. I got it here, too, if you need it.
All right. Let's see. Forgive me already because I'm a terrible reader.
You want me to do it? I don't mind.
Yeah, I think you should do it. You're better. Okay. You're better. I mean, I can't even fucking name the main character's name for Christ's sakes. Forget about this.
This is from a user named Huggo.
Huggo.
All right.
All right. Like just like the film Huggo.
Is that a film?
Well, Hugo. It's called Huggo. I don't know. Bad joke. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We can edit that out if we need to.
This I'll leave it in. In fact, I'll put it in twice.
Oh, good. Just like the film Huggo. Put some echo on it too, so it's really pronounced.
Adding. If I can find my goddamn mouse, there we go.
And put a laugh track in there too, please.
There. Yep, you got it.
and a rim shot.
You got it. Alrighty, here we go. Dun 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 dun. The first-class compartment of the December 1935 departure of the Orient Express from Istanbul is full, unusual for this time of the year. Regardless, famed and fastidious Belgian detective Hercule Poirot... I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Wouldn't it be funny if
The announcer couldn't pronounce his name either.
Hercules, who needs...
Hercules.
Regardless, famed and fastidious Belgian detective.
Okay, for our Connery theme park that we talked about in the previous episode, one of my signature drinks would be a Hercule puree.
Ooh, I like it. And what is it, like coconut juice and mango?
It's like ice cream or something, right? Purees are like ice cream or like whipped cream or something like that.
I guess it's anything that's been blended up to mush.
And I would put like a little decorative mustache-shaped cookie on it.
But he's not Poirot, but he does have an impressive mustache in this film.
Yeah, he's many fun mustaches with Connery over the years that we've seen so far. So this is probably the most fun. The other ones are, I mean, like Cuba. He has like the pencil one. That's like really kind of nice. Very nice one in not Longest Day. Was it Longest Day? No, it was.
He's got one in Man Who Would Be King. He's got those mutton chops.
The coal miner one.
Molly Maguire's.
Molly Maguire's, for Christ's sakes. Great, good mustache there. But this one's just very. This is the longest one I think we've seen. Longest stash. The longest stash.
I'm sure we'll get one where it's full. I know there's a different name for it, but like Fu Manchu style. He's just got a long draping mustache, like tickling his nipples. Alrighty, back to it.
Where were we?
I'll just start over. The first-class compartment of the December 1935 departure of the Orient Express from Istanbul is full, unusual for this time of the year. Regardless, famed and fastidious Belgian detective Hercule Poirot, who needs to get back to London immediately, is able to secure last-minute passage in the compartment with the assistance of his friend, Signor Bianchi, one of the directors of the train line, who is also making the trip. Some of the first-class passengers seem concerned about Poirot's presence on the train. At least one of them has a reason to be concerned, as later, after another first-class passenger, who earlier in the trip asked Poirot to provide protection for him due to several death threats, is found murdered in his stateroom by multiple stabbings. At the time the victim is found, the train is unexpectedly stopped and delayed due to snow in the remote Yugoslavia, which may be problematic for the murderer in getting away now that Poirot is on the case, which he is doing as a favor to Bianchi, as not to get the Yugoslav police involved. I am the worst trailer announcer of all time.
I think it was very good.
Poirot quickly learns that the victim was not who he presented himself to be, and has a connection to a 5-year-old American kidnapping and murder case of infant Daisy Armstrong, murdered in spite of the fact that her parents had paid the requested ransom. The murderer in that case has long been convicted and executed, but the ransom monies were never recovered, a known accomplice never captured, and both the Armstrong parents have since tragically died. As Poirot questions the train's valet, the victim's accompanying staff, and the other primarily well-off first-class passengers and their accompanying servants, who are all on the surface more than cooperative, he finds that many had opportunity and motive, the latter which may not be obvious. There are also a great deal of evidence discovered on the train, which pulls his thoughts in many directions. These pieces of information may complicate the deduction of who is the murderer. My voice is exhausted.
So I guess one opening question before, so we probably won't, people have hopefully watched this listening, but if they haven't, cool, I guess. Did you suspect the murderer by the...
But let's not spoil it.
But without spoiling, but I want to know, did you suspect it?
No.
Didn't suspect the ending. Okay.
Nope. Okay, so when you watched the original, did you... Or not the original, I'm sorry. When you watched the 2017, did you suspect... I'm guessing it's the same ending?
For the most part, yeah.
Did you suspect it?
Not at all. Yeah, I was very... Because, that's the thing with each of them, the performances are, very intense. I love the because everybody's a zany character. Everyone's so different. It's just every interrogation was just so different.
Are you referring to the 2017 one or this
for this one?
Okay.
Because I don't remember how zany they were in the other one. It was almost the same. I know Judi Dench really sells it.
Let's do as much sticking to this one as we can.
Yeah. But no, going to this one.
Connery doesn't have any connection to the
right.
Well, all right, fine. Last, I guess the only thing we'll really do is just tell me who plays which corresponding character.
Okay.
And I can pull that up too. But who plays Connery's character? Is that Johnny Depp?
No, Johnny Depp is actually the. Hold on, let me get it up. He's actually the victim, which is really interesting because it's like Johnny Depp. So when you see the original movie and he's Ratchet, Johnny Depp is not Ratchet. His character's name is Ratchet.
He's Nurse Ratchet.
He's a Ratchet. But yeah, so that was like one thing where it's like, oh, interesting that like Johnny Depp of all people, he's gone for most of the movie. But yeah, he is phenomenal in that too. But like, yeah, they're all very similar. So it's like now
Leslie
seeing
Odom
them both.
Jr. plays Connery's character Arbuthnot.
Yes.
So yes, Connery plays Colonel Arbuthnot in this film.
And we get him very early in the film.
Yes, yeah.
I remarked
down. He appears at 7:54.
That's so interesting that we have different times.
What? Well, I see him and then I catch it as soon as I can. I write it as soon as I can. Whatever the timestamp on that is what I write. So what'd you write? 7:52.
7:48.
Okay, so let's call it 7.
But so wait. So which scene are you referring to?
When he is chop.
So with the goats.
He's moving the goats, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it came to 7:48 for me. That's interesting.
Yeah, okay, so let's split the difference and call it 7:51.
Perfect. Yeah, so
that must have just been when I moved the mouse and saw the time stamp. You know?
So yeah, so I have appears at 7:48, and his opening quote is, "Come on, move, come on, get up, chop."
Yep, hustling some goats along.
which I love.
Come on. Move! Come on. Get up. Come on. Chop.
And also, while we're on the subject, one of my first favorite Connery quotes is, "Obviously a frog."
What a funny little man.
Obviously a frog.
Yeah. I like that.
But like, yeah, cranking back a little bit. So what'd you think of the opening sequence of like the newspaper clippings and all that?
Instantly creepy.
Right?
Instantly creepy.
You go from that like really like nice kind of fanfare with we'll talk about more about music, but it's like, like it's like Indiana Jones.
I love
almost.
those opening titles.
Yeah, but then you go to like darkness, kidnapping, and like murder, and it's like, wow, what a shift change.
Yeah. Well, let's tackle the titles first. I love the font.
Mm-hmm.
The score for the opening titles is that on the piano. That's not actually what it sounds like, but you know what I'm saying. It's those twinkling arpeggios building up, and then all of a sudden Nicole is watching it with me. She goes, "At first I was afraid, I was petrified," and then the film got scary. And also, I was really happy to see Jeffrey Unsworth in the titles, to know that he would be shooting this film, because damn, this film looks amazing. This film looks phenomenal. Yeah, I loved that opening sequence. It was absolutely terrifying, and at first I was wondering why it was happening, why we were being shown this, what this had to do with I had no understanding or knowledge of this plot beforehand besides murder on train, and quirky detective, and seeing this opening sequence, my brain just goes, "This is not murder on train. This is baby in car." But it was really creepy, and I really, really loved it. And it hit me pretty quickly, like, okay, this will be the inciting incident for the murder on the train, but this is really creepy. There's some day for night in it, which doesn't really hold up, but other than that, it's beautifully shot and edited, and I like that they purposefully don't show. They show like 3 faces, you know, the 4. You see, the mother and the father, Paulette, the maid, and the child.
Yeah, they do a very good job of lighting. There's a couple shots of like one woman on the balcony, but the light is shooting down on the camera, and all you see is her silhouette as she gets in front of it. It's like, so very like, I guess before it's not before its time, but like just like I'm not used to seeing old films like this in this kind of style. Like I really like their use of reminding the audience when they're going through the interrogations, they go back to these opening scenes as flashes to be like, you knew so and so, and showing us the scene of the person that they're talking about. And so I'm like, you don't see a lot of flashbacks incorporated in that in those times, I feel.
I'm not sure. I'd have to. My film knowledge is very slim.
Same.
I'm learning through this, you know. As we do this podcast, I'm learning, like, man, I haven't seen shit for movies. Like, the movies I've enjoyed is such a very small percentage of the films that exist. And because we're taking on this experiment, we're getting into films that we may not have watched otherwise. For example, The Longest Day. Or would you have watched A Good Man in Africa if we weren't doing this podcast?
I think if I was browsing and I saw Connery's face on the poster, I'd be like, oh, perhaps, because he's right in the middle. So like maybe that's the only draw for me. But something like Longest Day, not at all, because maybe John Wayne will get your attention, but I wouldn't have known Connery was in it or anyone else. You know, so yeah, I think that's the thing. The fact that we're tackling these, definitely not Action of Tiger. I would never look at that movie at all. Yeah. So yeah, I think Connery, honestly, Connery would be the only draw for me. But if you don't know he's on, even on this poster, he's not that far down the list. And like,
well, I have a note.
Yes.
On that. So I was going through the IMDb trivia. Just share my screen here with you so you can see what I'm referring to.
Right.
So with so many suspects in the plot and none of them expendable, director Sidney Lumet decided that the audience's odds of keeping the character straight would improve if he cast a familiar face in each role. Lumet thought the best way was to acquire an all-star cast was to sign the biggest star first. In 1974, that was Sean Connery, who Lumet had previously directed in The Hill, 1965, The Anderson Tapes in 1971, and The Offense in 1973. Once Connery was attached, the remainder of the cast was set in a matter of weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Connery was a draw.
Connery was the hook. And then, I was reading along the same lines, like Lauren Bacall took the role because she wanted to act with Albert Finney.
And I was super excited to see Michael York in this.
Michael York, I have a note, is brutal in this movie.
Yeah, right.
That moment at the end, like, he's pretty chill. He actually looks pretty good. Not gonna lie, like,
yeah,
slim young Michael York's kind of handsome, but
I would have done without the mustache if he was clean shaven. Perfect.
Yeah, I'd take the mustache off. But the moment at the end, the reveal, that is brutal.
Right.
When he's like making her do it.
Yeah.
Oof.
My only note for him towards the beginning was whoop-de-doo Basil, because I always know him as Basil from Austin Powers.
Oh, I have an Austin Powers reference. When Connery stands up and goes, "She's not a woman. It's a man, baby."
Nice.
Miss Debenham is not a woman.
It's a man.
All right, so after so let's move on. So we see Connery for the first time entering the boat,
the dock.
Yeah, and to the
so they're all
leaving
from a dock. They're taking a boat to the train.
Yes. Which where we see Poirot for the first time as well.
Yes.
I put a big heart next to him, man, because he was awesome. I love him.
Albert Finney really is the star of this film.
Yeah, he's so much fun and just goofy. Like I have more quotes from him than Connery for obvious reasons. He's in the movie more, but yeah, he's fantastic. I love him.
Now, I had read something as I was going through the IMDb trivia here. I don't know how correct it is, but let me find it one more time. I don't know how correct this is, but if it is, okay. So some interesting ones here. Poirot's summation scene from his laying out of the evidence on the table to his final line of dialogue is 27 minutes and 57 seconds.
Wow.
Okay. Ingrid Bergman, who I was born backwards, right? She won an Oscar for that performance for best supporting actress.
Really?
Let me. Awards. Academy Awards. One best supporting actress. Yes. Albert Finney was nominated for best actor. Best cinematography, Jeffrey Unsworth. Best adapted screenplay, Paul Den. Best costume design, Tony Walton. Best original score, Richard Rodney Bennett. All of them nominated, but Ingrid Bergman won. Anyway, so her, and she deserves it. Her virtually all of her performance, her Oscar-winning performance, is contained in one scene. Her interrogation by Poirot, captured in a single continuous take, nearly 5 minutes long. And I went back and rewatched it. It's all one take.
Wow.
One unending shot. Okay. Here is the fact that I brought up about Finney. Since Albert Finney required many hours of makeup procedures before shooting each day, and because he was performing in a stage play at the same time, he didn't have much time for his badly needed sleep. A daily routine was developed when an ambulance arrived to pick up the sleeping actor at his house in his pajamas, carefully trying not to wake him. During the half-hour commute to the studio, the makeup artist would begin the rough work on his face. The rest of the fine detail was completed at the studio on a still sleeping Finney. I don't know how much I believe that.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's the phone. Imagine.
And he was 37 in this film.
Really?
Yeah.
That is.
And he was the third choice. The first choice was Alec Guinness, who was unavailable, and the second was Paul Scofield.
Ooh, Alec Guinness. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Alec Guinness, but do you think he could
Yeah, I think he could have pulled it off.
Zany?
He can be a good comedic actor.
Oh yeah, I got to see what that's Guinness curious. That might be a thing in the future.
Well, we're gonna see him in A Bridge Too Far, I think.
Yes, that's true. So yeah, but man, yeah, that's if that's true, that's bananas. Imagine falling asleep in your bed and you wake up and you're Hercule, you're ready to go. That seems crazy, but if that's true, amazing.
I don't know. Alec Guinness is not in A Bridge Too Far. He's on Bridge on the River Kwai.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah. Also, Bridge Too Far is almost 3 hours as well. It's 2:54.
Ooh.
Oof. Oh, more movies, man.
More movies.
Hold on, I gotta see if they were ever in anything together.
Who, Alec and Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Kind Hearts and Coronets? Nope. They were never in anything together. Damn. Wait a second. Name of the Rose? Huh. Again, riveting podcasting.
Riveting.
Alec Guinness on stage and screen. Nope, they were not in anything together. Though he was in Scrooge with Albert Finney.
What did he play in Scrooge?
Jacob Marley.
Ooh.
Yep. Nothing. Yeah. Wow, he died in 2000. Anyway, rest in peace, Alec Guinness. Alrighty, so let's keep going through our notes here. Oh my God! Wow, we've been just chatting so much that guy that refused to leave the cart has fallen asleep.
Ooh.
Oh,
Maybe we should.
I'm gonna poke him right in the head.
Maybe we should
Squish. Maybe we should what?
What? Is his head squishy?
Yeah, he's got a squishy old head. Look, he's not waking up either. Squish. Sir, are you okay? Do you mind if we keep talking?
Hope he doesn't mind that we're podcasting next to him while he's sleeping.
We're just gonna anyway. We have to. I'm amazed that this generator hasn't woken him up. The one we have to run that runs on fucking diesel fuel to power these microphones.
Yeah, it's very loud, and also his train hasn't moved in like 40 minutes.
I think it might have been that murder.
Oh, it's true.
You know, I think when a murder happens, a train breaks down. You know, like when you step on a crack.
Break your mother's back.
Yeah.
When you murder on a train has to stay plain. I don't know what.
Exactly. An automobile.
Yes.
So, anyway, okay, squish. All right, so let me keep going. They're on that boat, and it cuts. You see the boat sailing away, and then it cuts to the inside of the boat, and it's a very elaborate and decked out boat. Right, we see the band with the fezzes. Is that what that hat is called? A fez, right?
Yeah, the little red one.
With the little pig ponytail draped over it.
Yeah,
rat tail or whatever.
What's his name from Indiana Jones? Wears one.
It's Sala.
Sala, yes.
Yeah. So when we see the inside of that ship, my brain just went, Titanic was called the ship of dreams. And it was. It really was. And then there's just too many shots of that band. Like, there's 3 shots of that band that are just all the same. And it's from the same angle.
And definitely miming what they're playing.
Yes.
Because I didn't even really hear guitar in that track at all.
My next note is bread cart heart. I love seeing a cart full of bread.
Anything from the trolley diz. Yes, 5 beignets.
We'll take the lot.
We'll take the lot. He has 20 beignets in front of him.
20 what?
Beignets, like those long French bread. That's called a beignet,
Is that what
right?
they're called? Baguette, right?
Beignet. What's a beignet?
I have a beignet in my toilet.
Beignet.
It sprays up water in my butt.
No, beignet.
I'm kidding.
Is it beignet or baguette?
It's baguette.
The things from New Orleans with the powdered
Poirot.
sugar. Poirots. No, they're beignets, aren't they? I wish we had
Benoit balls?
I wish we had a studio audience. Yeah, it's a beignets. A beignet is those little powdered pastries you get like in New Orleans. They're like doughboys with like powdered sugar on them.
Do you know why they call them that? Because the guy that invented them, his name was Benjamin, and people would get so excited for his treats, they'd see him and they'd be like, Ben, yay!
You roped me in. I was like, I'm going to learn something about beignets. and yeah. Oh, place of origin. Speaking of Poirot, they're from France originally, and they're made with bread flour, confectionery sugar, evaporated milk, granulated sugar, lukewarm water, oil or lard, and other variations could be sourdough. We should make
Poirot's actually Belgian.
That's true. Yeah, and they say, "Oh, I thought you were French." That's very true. Anyways, I'll take the lot. That's where we are. We had the bread cart, and we'll take the lot of the beignets.
Wow, look at all the list that of people that have played Poirot. Charles, share my screen here with you. Charles Lawton, Francis L. Sullivan, Austin Trevor, Orson Welles, Harold Huber, Richard Williams, John Malkovich, Jose Ferrer, Martin Gable, Tony Randall, Albert Finney, Dudley Jones, Peter Ustinov, Ian Holm, David Suchet. I gotta make sure.
What?
Suchet, David Suchet, John Moffat, Maurice Denham, Peter Sallis. Who's Peter Sallis? Oh, get back there. Oh, he was the voice of Wallace. Oh, look at that.
No way.
Constantine Rakin, Alfred Molina, Robert Powell, Jason Durr, Kenneth Branagh, Anthony O'Donnell, Shiro Ito, Mansai Nomura, and Tom Conti.
I want to see Orson Welles.
Yeah,
Like that was one that hit me.
Let's see.
And Malkovich, John Malkovich. I just watched Johnny English with Alicia last night, and I forgot he was the villain.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
I'm trying to.
These must be like plays, or like these all can't be films, are they? Because I've never seen that.
All right. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, Campbell Playhouse edition, as Hercule Poirot and James Shepard. So it's a 1-hour radio play.
Ah.
I see. That makes sense. Anyway, I loved Finney as Poirot. And also, I definitely wrote Poirot. Where is it? Oh, the Poirot is 100% what influenced Benoit Blanc.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because like I got that instantly, especially after seeing Glass Onion 2 and just thinking about that. It's like, wow. It's like that's the crossover we need right there.
Quirky. Oh, yeah, right? Actually, yeah, Kenneth Branagh meets Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
I'd take it.
Yeah, and they solve the mystery together. That'd be insane. It'd be like a time loop thing. But like it'd be so cool. Yeah, absolutely. It's like that's probably what Rian Johnson. I think Rian Johnson mentioned that like in an interview recently where he was kind of like talking about he loved old whodunits. I think he did mention Orient Express at one point, or Orient Express, even Clue, stuff like that, like older
I still need to watch
films.
Clue.
The original Clue is so good. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we should have like a whodunit marathon. That'd be fun.
Whodunit Day.
Whodunit Day. I like that.
When do we do it?
We'll find a time.
Who do we do it for?
Who do we?
How do we do it? How done it? All right.
Why do we do it?
Because we can.
Yeah, exactly.
I made another note. Oranges equal danger. Because there's a cart of oranges that gets spilled.
In that same scene, I put a note in saying nobody leaves you alone in the 30s, because we had at least 3 instances where like a group of people was pestering somebody.
Yeah.
We had the plane, when the plane landed with the girl's mother, was it her mother
and
father?
The ones, the Armstrongs.
Yes. So we had that moment. We had when the car shows up, I believe it's Greta coming out of the car at the dock. It's Greta.
Yes, as Ingrid Bergman. Yes.
Yes. Her getting pestered.
As Ingrid Bergman as Greta. Excuse me.
Yeah, her getting pestered by like people selling stuff, and then like at least 2 people got pestered on the actual train platform, or at the point where Michael York almost backhands somebody for getting too close.
So at that pestering scene, I've got two notes on that. So Ingrid Bergman freaks out because she has lost, or she thinks she has lost, her Medal of Saint Christopher, which is the second film that we've done where somebody has lost their Medal of Saint Christopher at a train station.
Oh my God, that's right.
Literally, the man who would be king. That's how it opens.
Oh my God, I wonder if that's a reference. You think that's a reference? Callback? Easter egg?
I don't know.
That's
Because this one, Man Who Would Be King, comes out the next year.
Oh, it's gonna be the other way around.
And they're both based off classic novels.
And they're both.
So
yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. So we have to check out if that's in.
Maybe they're just both in those books.
Yeah, with the research that's just a funny coincidence.
So, and then my next note on that same thing is that when she freaks out and realizes, or thinks that she has lost her medal, she doesn't. She hasn't lost it, but she thinks she has. She begins panicking, and it gives the slightest window of opportunity for all these, street urchin salespeople to just come in and start trying to hawk their wares to her, and they're all trying to sell her different religious medals. And then she realizes she has a medal. She says, "No, Medal of St. Christopher." And they realize, we're not going to sell her on our religious crap, and everyone leaves. But my mind went to The Mummy when Imhotep is closing in on Benny, and Benny is just cycling through his different religious medals to see which one is going to work.
Yes. I gotta rewatch The Mummy. I just rode the Mummy ride at Universal. I hated it.
Yeah,
but
we talked about this. You said it was good.
I mean, it's good for if you're a fan of coasters and the movie. I'm a fan of the movie, but not a fan of the coaster. I just hate coasters. I hate twists and turns. But it's fun. It's very nostalgic, and it's cool to see. Brendan Fraser. Fraser.
Okay. Fraser.
Yeah,
Fraser like razor.
Yeah, because he's been going out now and saying, "You guys been mispronouncing my name for my whole career."
Yeah,
it's Fraser.
And they have him in the Mummy game as his character in The Whale.
Wait, what? Really? What?
Yeah, you didn't see they updated all of it so that Rick O'Connell is the Whale.
I haven't seen The Whale yet. I got to see The Whale.
So I haven't seen it either, but it just. I don't know. I just thought it would be funny just to seeing Rick O'Connell do all his flips and shit
as the
but
whale.
It's the whale.
He's like another Goldmember reference, like Fat Bastard, where he does "Hope my wire fighting team is ready." He's doing all the flips,
and he gets stuck midair. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, isn't this magical? One of my wires broke. So good. We should do a side podcast where we just do like all 3 Austin Powers movies, like a bonus weekend. Who knows? Anyways,
That might be a bit exhausting.
A good exhausting.
Like we'd have to watch them in a day.
Oh yeah.
Like, could you crank out all 3 of them in a day?
I have before.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's just.
All right, maybe we do it then. Maybe we give it a shot.
Maybe we'll see.
It's a bonus episode.
Who knows?
Put ourselves through that. Lose potential income opportunities in other places to sit and watch Austin Powers all day. It's like, sorry, I can't make money today. I've got to watch Austin Powers all day, all 3 of them.
See, I am very busy. It's like, tell the president to hold my calls because I'm watching all 3 Austin Powers movies tonight.
Sir, you are the president. Good. Well, tell everyone else to stop calling me right now.
Sir, the Pentagon needs your help. I'm watching Spy Who Shagged Me, please.
Biden's just sitting there like, I didn't eat any corn. I love this. It's good stuff.
Anyways.
We
get on the train.
Sean Connery with his pipe. Heart.
Or his peep.
His peep, I wrote that as well. And only at the end does Poirot say pipe correctly.
Right.
To like drive it in. Like, yes, I know I say it peep. You don't need to mock me.
Yeah, that was one of my Connery quotes, which we're jumping forward, but like it's like, you think he had time to clean? Had time to clean my peep, which is a very, very, very good.
Well, not if you're using a shared bathroom. I don't think so.
Yeah.
My next note: cut with Hard Day's Night and Harry Potter.
Oh, for when they leave.
Everything in this movie could be cut with A Hard Day's Night and Harry Potter.
And from Rush with Love.
Yep, that too.
Because even the
Man Who Would Be King.
So every train, we could even put the train crashing in Longest Day somehow.
Yeah,
because those trains are kind of similar.
And the Molly Maguires, cut them both together so it's a bigger train explosion.
Eventually, we're gonna have a cut with every single train, every single Connery movie. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll do this. The Connery, and we'll make it, honestly, with all the footage we'll have, it'll be a movie. It'll be at least like 45 minutes.
Yeah, like the Connery train or something like that.
So we see like a montage of every character getting on the train. The Beatles get on the train. Harry and Ron and Hermione get on the train. And
okay, have Brad Pitt from Bullet Train getting on the train.
Exactly. Yep. And you know, all the train's journey, things are happening on the train through these different movies. And then eventually it gets stuck in the snow, and then after it gets cleared out, it gets bombed by both the Molly Maguires and the French freedom fighters.
For both sides.
Exactly. But well, they hit the freedom fighters hit the front, and then the Molly Maguires hit the middle. So we'll cut that all together, and it'll all be in black and white because it has to be.
Before we move on to that, I do have a fun cut I want. It could be used in the scene when a train is departing and at the very last shot of the movie with that very fun like music that they have, the fanfare. I want that same music to be playing, but also cut the scene of Baron Samedi at the end of Live and Let Die laughing on the front of the train.
Being on the front of the train. Oh, it's so good. Yep.
I want the music in the background, but it's him laughing with the music in the background.
Oh, my God.
Oh, so
good. We're going to have to take a couple of days and really work on this.
We're going to
dial this thing in.
We're doing a whole train documentary. Mockumentary, whatever you want to call it, film. We'll put it into the Newport Film Festival or something. Who knows?
The Connery Crossing.
Connery Crossing. I like and we could do it like the old Tom's the Tank Engine episodes where like it's Ringo Starr.
Narrated by Ringo?
Yeah. It's like,
we call him up. Mr. Starr, we've got a request. I'm 82. What do you want? Can you narrate our documentary?
It's like,
what's it a documentary about? Well, you see.
It's trains.
Yeah.
It's like he won't sign any Beatles merch without being paid, but he'll gladly do a Tom's the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
Type deal.
And then when he realizes that our film has so much Sean Connery, I'll be like, no, that guy insulted me back in '64. No thanks.
Oh yeah. He walked away. That'd be so funny, man. I used to have that on tape. Like a Thomas the Tank Engine tape where it was Ringo, because in the show was George Carlin that played the conductor on on a TV show, so that always blew my mind.
Well, there were a couple of different ones, right?
Yeah, like there's like a newer one. Alec Baldwin was the conductor in a newer movie. There was somebody else.
I'm sure there has been a cut of Thomas the Tank Engine with Carlin's dirty stand-up over it.
If there is not, we got to make it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But I think Ringo was the most relaxing to listen to. It's like,
oh yeah.
So Percy was not doing too well, and
Percy wasn't doing too well. I can't do a good Ringo.
Gordon was quite the motherfucker. Oh,
you must use the force, Paul.
Quite cross he was. How was he?
Ringo, I am.
I wrote a song about an octopus.
Touch my drums, you must not.
Help from your friends you must have.
Or a night of hard days you will have. Forever will your strawberry fields be. I hope when
Grogu gets older in The Mandalorian that he becomes Ringo.
Never knows, will tomorrow.
It looks like Ringo's face, but it's green, but still talks like Yoda. He has the little glasses on too, and he's like, "Oh, peace and love."
Love, peace, and.
I want that on a shirt with the picture of yours says "Love and peace," "Love, peace, and."
Or and peace, love. Okay, I really, really love the long shot from like the end of the train to the front, to the headlight turning on, and then another equally long shot of that train leaving, and then the transition. Basically, like coming up from the concrete as the train is moving. Do you know what I'm referring to? Like, right as the train leaves the station, there's these beautiful long shots of it traveling.
Yeah, I was thinking gorgeous. That actually watching it because thinking of our train obsession, we have a lot of great train B-roll in this because a lot of long shots, and it's funny you talk about Harry Potter. It's very Hogwarts Express, but those beautiful shots of like the Scottish countryside or wherever they filmed. It's just like such beautifully shot. This is like amazing because
where did they shoot this?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Interiors were filmed at Elstree Studios. Exteriors shooting was mostly done in France in '73 with a railway workshop near Paris standing in for Istanbul Station.
That
Scenes
sounds
of the train
right.
proceeding through Central Europe were filmed in the Jura Mountains on the then recently closed railway line from Pontarlier to Gilly, with some of the train stuck in snow being filmed in a cutting near Montbenoit. So, yeah, France.
And I'm trying to see, for fun, what is the model of the Orient Express? I want to see what kind of train for our train guys out there who like trains. It is a it's a 1927 S type. Interesting, because you wonder like. So the Orient Express is a real train, but obviously it's a actual. Like they got their hands on a model or built one.
Sorry, I'm reading about Elstree Studios. The Star Wars films were shot there. Indiana Jones was shot there. Shining was shot there. Huh.
Really?
Yeah, that's got it. I'm gonna.
That was the place to be in the 70s, I guess.
That was the place to be. I'm gonna read more about that later. Alrighty. So you said that was what model was it?
The 1927 S type, whatever that. I'm sure somebody can write in and let us know what that means. But that's interesting.
And that's the model of the train.
Yeah, an S type.
All right. Shall we keep going?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. The rear screen projection is not bad inside the train.
Yeah,
It's a little weird, but it's not bad.
I mean, they benefited with having the train not moving. So
yes, for most of it.
Yeah, so you could easily have a shot of a still mountainside and get away with it. But like, I think I know, because even in the moving scenes, I don't remember. Was it nighttime? Yeah, it was mostly nighttime.
Some of them were day, some of them were night.
Yeah, the big portion, like as the murder's taking place, that was nighttime.
Yeah.
So like they could benefit from that. But I thought everything looked pretty legitimate. That's why I'm saying like I'm shocked at how good this was, especially after watching Longest Day with people disappearing into the green screen.
Yeah.
And now seeing this, it's like, oh wow, what an improvement.
Yeah. Okay. My next note is Dick Hardman,
Dick Hardman.
the cop. His name's my name's Hardman, but you can call me Dick.
Oh, that's
Or call
right.
me Richard. You can call me Richard.
Oh, that's
Which
right.
means his name is Dick Hardman.
Dick Hardman. I didn't catch that.
Dick Hardman.
Yeah, because they just call him. Yeah, they just name him as Hardman in the credits. That's funny.
When Poirot cleans his utensils, he wipes the top of the utensil and then he wipes the handle. You just cleaned the dirty part first, and now you're gonna smear food all over the handle of the knife
Yes.
and your fork and such. Anyway, little notes I have. Martin Balsam's line, "You must excuse me, Mrs. Hubbard is upon us."
Oh, on the topic of Hardman, I do have his quote is "To Paulette with love," which could be from Russia with love. So that was a little fun.
I think he actually says "To Paulette with love."
To Paulette from love.
Paulette.
To Paulette.
Poirot.
He does say to Poirot with love. To Squid Poirot.
And he goes, he's got the knife. He goes, to
Connor, get on with it, man. It slaps him back in the hand.
To Ross Perot.
Everyone's like,
He
what?
leaves the room. He's like, what was that?
Everyone's like, wait, what? What did he say?
He leaves the room. He's like, I don't even remember why I did that.
Everyone's like, who's Ross Perot? That's someone we knew?
I really love Princess Dragomarov. Let's make sure I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes, who is
Dragomarov.
Dragomarov, which is Judy
Dragomirov?
which is Judi Dench's character in
Yes.
the which I would have cast that as well. Like that's perfect. That's a perfect. Very hard. So I didn't have a subtitle for this movie, unfortunately. So her scenes were definitely hard to kind of understand. I really had to rewind a couple times to like What did she say? She's very old English. Like,
Were you using VLC?
Yeah, but the
VLC has an extension where it'll search for subtitles and download them for you.
I got to do that because I tried. Yeah, I was like, there was one in there, but it just kept reading the chapters for me, like chapter 2.
Yeah, I'll show you how to set that up.
Oh yes, but
It's pretty easy.
But other than that, it was. But yeah, I got to give it that. Very. That does a very clear sound, very good audio. I'm not sure how much, what's the word for it? Voiceover was done.
Well, all right,
dubbing.
I have one note on that. I have a note on. Okay, at 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 45 seconds. I'm going to make a marker here so I can punch this in. Poirot is asking a question. And he goes, "Why?" And then somebody answers it, but they don't cut away. It's the same shot held still. And somebody off screen answers it and goes, "Maybe because they didn't account for your presence on the train?" Whoever says that line is nobody in the movie that we've seen before.
Have they all told me under interrogation stupid and often unnecessary lies? Why?
Doubtless, Monsieur Poirot, because they did not expect you to be on the train. They had no time to concert their cover story.
I was hoping someone other than myself would say that.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a stand-in for the audience or...
That must have been a
You know what I'm
late.
talking about?
Yeah. Which is.
Does that sound like anybody we've seen in the movie before?
Oh yeah, that sounds like somebody in the studio. Absolutely a different person. That they probably had the footage and were like, well, shit, we probably didn't catch the line on the boom mics or whatever. And it's clear. It doesn't even sound like it's in the same room.
Stanley, get in here.
Yeah. They got the janitor in there. Like, can you read this line for us? Yeah, that's a good catch. I didn't even notice that. Because interesting. Like, that's one thing that was interesting. Just the lack of cuts. Where there's a lot of scenes.
So many long shots, beautiful long shots.
Yeah, but
that's Jeffrey Unsworth being the master.
Yeah, how many interrogations did we get? We had one interrogation. I forget which one it was, but like you just see the back of Poirot's head, the whole scene, and you're focusing on the subject, which is great because that's a thing you want to do in a whodunit. We talk about L.A. Noire in this game, in this podcast, L.A. Noire, which is a whodunit. You're a detective in L.A. in like the 30s or 40s, and a lot of that game is you have to help you determine if someone's innocent or not. You're reading their facial expression. So that was the first game that was they scanned actors' actual faces, and you can see all the intricate moves of their eyes and how they look to the left and right and their jaw. So I like that, how it's like it gives the audience a chance to be like, all right, this one looks sus, which is funny because then you look over to to Hercule's friend, what was his name? The one at Bianchi, who
played by Martin Balsam,
who after every interrogation. They did it. The butler did it. Like every single one. He's like, yep, they're guilty. They definitely did it.
And it's funny, but also when you think of it, like he's just running the train line. He wants this to be over as quickly as possible. So yep, they did it. They definitely did it. Yep, they did it.
At the same time, they are all so very suspect. It's crazy.
Well, but ultimately, Martin Balsam is right at the end.
Honestly,
he's the one that's right.
Yeah, honestly, he knew it from the start.
Quick detour here. I just clicked on Jeffrey Unsworth Wikipedia page just to see what else he's worked on. Now, we've got a lot of crossover here, my friend. So he's done some amazing work. He did 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is one of the best-looking films of all time. Right?
Yeah.
Then he ends his career... okay, actually, you know what? I'll get to the end when I get to the end. So we've got some crossover here. 1957, he is the cinematographer on Hell Drivers. That's another one on our list. Then he is a cinematographer. This is all from cinematography. Then, all right, so yep, Hell Drivers in 57. Then Zardoz in 74. Murder on the Orient Express in 74. Same year, goddamn. And A Bridge Too Far in 77.
Wow.
So he's worked with Connery a number of times.
God damn.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. Okay, so Hell Drivers in 1957. Zardoz 74. Murder on the Orient Express 74. Bridge Too Far 77. And The First Great Train Robbery in 78, for which he also has an uncredited acting role.
Wow.
So he does 5 films with Connery.
Jesus.
Yeah. And his last film was Superman 2.
Really?
Yep. And a film called Tess, directed by Roman Polanski.
Huh.
Icky. Yeah. I'm sure the film's good, but Polanski. Icky. Yeah. Icky. Yeah. Also, that's the sound as I squish this guy's... Watch, squish this guy's head again. Look, it makes that sound. Icky. Icky.
Squish.
Yeah, go ahead, give it another squish.
Squish.
Icky.
I'll say we can cut to the... we're meeting a lot of our, like, future suspects in the dinner car or lunch car, whatever you want to call it. And you kind of get a taste of all their personalities. That's where we get our, I believe it was, it must have been Ratchet who complained about the chipped glass, right? Or was it somebody else? Yeah, so him, so you get him, he's a fucking dick. So we're like, all right, let's keep our eyes on him.
Look at, I'm sharing my screen again. At 30 minutes, 40 seconds, look at how beautiful that shot is. Isn't that just a gorgeous shot?
Play it. There we go.
Of the train moving in the fog.
Oh, yeah. And that looks like a legitimate night shot, too.
Yeah. Oh, that definitely was filming done at night here. I think the day for night was just for the kidnapping parts. Yeah, so we start meeting all of our main players. Did you have a favorite player?
Well, besides Finney as Hercule, he was
well.
great.
He's not our. I get. Yeah, he's one of our players. But I mean, of our suspects.
Obviously,
because Finney was my favorite too.
I know we didn't get a ton of him, but Connery as Colonel Arbuthnot was great. We had some great. We'll talk about later. Like when we get to his interrogation, probably the most at attention I was for interrogation. He was fantastic. But I also did like the butler, who I guess was suspect as well, but not really.
Played by Jean-Pierre Cassel, father of Vincent Cassel.
Yeah, so he was great. And who else did I really like? And yeah, I think those are the only ones I was kind of leaning towards.
I really loved Anthony Perkins.
Okay.
He's a great actor. I just love watching him act.
He was like something McQueen.
Yes, Hector McQueen. He was the assistant to
Ratchet.
Ratchet, yes.
Yeah, who was
Lanfranco Cassetti. Richard Widmark was the actor who plays him. But yes, Perkins plays his assistant.
I was curious.
And another character he's playing that has mom issues. And issues from losing his mother. I mean, who wouldn't? But you know what I'm saying. It's just interesting to see. And also, he and Martin Balsam were in Psycho together.
Ah, yeah.
And there's a lot of crossover with these actors. A lot of these actors have worked together. I was reading that in the IMDb page. I feel like I have very little to say about this movie. I mean, we've been talking for an hour or so now, but I feel like I still have so little to say about this movie because I fucking loved it.
It really, yeah.
I was just taking in how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think again going to my notes. I think that was the thing too. An issue I had because like when I first started watching the movie, I was eating lunch, so I couldn't get to my notes because I had grease in my hands. but yeah, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, it has caught my attention.
And if you got grease on your passport, that would be a problem.
Exactly. Yeah. They wouldn't let me on the train.
Well, or at least your name would be Ario. That's a plot point. The first letter of somebody's name is obscured by a grease stain.
That's right. I was like, where's he going with this?
Come on, Ario.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's my new name, Ario.
Ario and Ilan.
Ario Speedwagon.
Which is the train.
Yes, it's a Speedwagon. It would be considered a train? Is it considered a train, a Speedwagon?
Well, it's going faster than a wagon you'd pull.
I suppose, but like, yeah, it's
Speedier.
Speedwagon. A Speedwagon.
What is a Speedwagon?
I don't know. What does REO stand for?
I don't know. Look it up.
Riveting
entertainment options. Which is what this podcast
That's
is.
not real. Oh, they named the band REO Speedwagon from the REO Speedwagon, a 1915 truck that was designed by Ransom L.E. Olds. It's a truck. Interesting.
Huh. Okay.
Why is it called? So Ransom L.E. Olds is REO, founder of the company, the REO Speedwagon.
Look at that.
Look at that. We're learning so much about the world through Sean Connery movies.
Yeah. See, diving in, man. Diving in all that the world has to offer us. Thanks to Sean Connery, who opened the pool.
Yes.
What am I even saying? Gesundheit. What is Poirot wearing for sleep?
It was like
some kind of mustache thing.
Yeah, it's like they're basically I think they were just two hair nets.
But like for his mustache?
Yeah, because he had one that went over like his head because he had to keep that grease in.
Yeah.
But then he had another one that went around his mustache, but also he rolled it up, which I kind of was like, my note there was, man, this is like the beginning of COVID when people didn't know how to wear a mask. People just wrapping their stashes.
Your chin diaper.
But I thought that was funny because I put that in. And I said mustache care at its finest. And I do want to cut that where because you kind of hear the hustle and bustle in the other room as like the murder is happening. I want to cut that with Connery and Red Grant fighting in the other car. And he's just looking at the newspaper and doing the invisible violin.
Right.
And he's wrapping up his mustache while that fight is happening.
and down another cart, Jaws and Roger Moore are fighting.
And then Daniel Craig and Dave Bautista
and Hanks,
are in the other car fighting. And another Roger Moore is fighting. T.
Yeah.
So many possibilities on a train.
And then when it blows up, Pierce Brosnan jumps off it? No?
Oh, yeah. It's tough because that's the only one that's not at night.
Yeah, huh?
They're all night scenes.
Well, the Molly Maguire ones is during the day. But
true. And
if we would cut it fast enough, you won't be able to tell. And put it in black and white. I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, we can fix it somehow.
Anyway, Hubbard says, that was 20 years ago. I would have been 15. You're not 35. But I love the sass. I have this as a quote, and I don't remember why. Go whoop whoop.
Yeah, yeah, I have that in my notes too.
What's that from?
If you must go, it was Poirot says that, and he's like, if you must go whoop whoop, whoop whoop.
Mon pauvre, if you must go whoop whoop, please go whoop whoop, not to windward, but to leeward, help him fear.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go throw up. Yes.
Must go whoop whoop.
Then he does the trick with the hat box. And I first thought, what is he doing with those pasta strainers that have big holes in them?
I thought he was going to put them in his shirt and like, look.
And use them as breasts.
I have
and look at me.
Look at me. I have tatas now.
My nipples are holes.
That's what I said. I put that in my note as like, why does he have fake boobs in his suitcase? Well, that's genius because I always have a tough time moving my hats around. I have a collection of fedoras that I like, and I never know how to travel with them. So I'm gonna get some like suitcase boobs.
For a second, I thought you were going with I have trouble moving my boobs. So I would think maybe wearing one of those.
I'm a traveling boob salesman, you see.
But also, you have too many fedoras. This might be a good thing to put those little pasta strainer things. That might be a good thing to put where?
In my fedora.
Almost there.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me think about this. Where are we going? I'm trying to go. Where are we going?
I'm giving a shameless self promo to the other podcasts I do.
Yeah, you could put them under the fedora.
A Michael Jackson podcast.
Oh, there we go. I knew you were going that way, but I was like, does he want me to say like to moonwalk my way to my suitcase to grab my fedora?
Oh my God!
To grab my pasta strainer. It's like, yeah, where do you keep your pasta strainer? Under my fedora. A Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's bad.
All right, beat it, kid.
I'm not invincible here. Yeah, history.
I remember the time. I'm just thinking of other.
I used the pasta strainer under the fedora.
Man, this whoever murdered this guy is a real smooth criminal.
Oh my God! Turns out it was a Liberian girl. Alrighty. I loved that trick though. The burning trick. That was really cool.
The burning trick
with the hat. The hat box pasta strainers.
I have like this whole like. There's so much comedy in this that like hits so fast you might miss it. I had one where I wrote down when they're looking over this is when they're talking to the assistant McQueen. And they're like, oh yeah, he had all these threatening notes, and they're all like these like 2-word threats of like, you know, death will come, blah blah blah. And then I just remember someone, I think Poirot said it, or his friend said it. Prepare to die. How brief. just like oh yeah, how brief. That's so weird. And they're like written like a child fucking wrote it. And it was hilarious.
Right.
Like just little bits like that, and like this.
So many quick lines.
Yeah, like it like.
Are you opening a dress shop?
The scene with the butler. It's like, oh, what are you reading there? Blah blah blah. Oh, is it about sex?
That was my next note. My next note, is it about sex? No, it's about 10:30.
And I laughed. So I had to pause and laugh at that joke because that was so good.
And then the movie pauses and laughs at the joke.
Yeah, it does.
It cuts to Poirot just laughing. It's like, that's good. About 10:30. That's good.
I'm about to use that.
That's a good one.
Really good.
When Ingrid Bergman is recounting about her come to Jesus moment, she said, I saw Jesus in the sky. You saw Jesus in the sky? Huh?
Third diamond in the sky, we feel the vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which, oh my God, diamonds are forever. It all ties back in.
To James Bond.
And look at this. Look at this. It all comes back around. The wheels on the train go round and round. Curiously.
Round and round.
Martin Balsam is great in this.
Yes.
He's very funny. Just accusing everybody because he wants it to be over.
Yeah, he's like, I want to get out of here. Which, man, that is stressful too, because that big plot point of like the fucking train is stuck in the middle of nowhere with a giant like snow pile, and there's a possible murderer on the train. So like you would think that like slowly but surely someone's gonna die each hour or something. Like I feel like that's
I thought there was gonna be more murders. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's when you're kind of like, man, they're really leaning on who done it, because even in like I think it was a Glass Onion. Yeah, Glass Onion. Like there's like a death almost each hour. Almost was like not many deaths. There's a couple. I'm not going to spoil that movie for people, but
there's
I think one or two.
Well, ultimately, the death being solved in Glass Onion happened before the events of the movie.
Yeah, they take it back to get to a point.
That's the murder that they're trying to solve, and then spoilers, nobody else gets murdered.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of.
Oh wait, yes, somebody does. Spoilers, sorry.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so there is a murder.
Yeah, and then to
solve. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
The other one. But
I need to rewatch both that and Knives Out.
Yeah, Knives Out. And Knives Out, there's a couple of casualties as well. So that's where it really, that one was like really tough to figure out. Like I had, my main suspect ended up being the killer, but I kept second guessing myself because more events happened. In Knives Out. My main guy person who was accused, I was like, I think it's got to be them, but I'm like, no, that seems too obvious, and they really put you around and say like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just gonna watch the movie and enjoy and not guess.
Yeah, I need to rewatch both of those.
So good.
Did you see the trailer that was cut with both of those, Knives Out and Glass Onion, cut with the Muppets?
Oh no, I heard about that. If I send it, I'll watch that after.
Send it to you right now. Poirot's mad laugh when the nightgown with the Octopussy nightgown.
Yeah, right.
It's a dragon, I believe, but it looks like Octopussy. But when that nightgown falls on him and he just lets out this mad, insane laugh. I love that. And then that beautiful shot tilting, looking up and then tilting to look down. Really beautiful. Cinematography in this film was just phenomenal. Then Sean Connery, the interrogation with Sean Connery. That's our big Connery scene with him and Miss Debenham, right?
Yes.
Mary Debenham. Vanessa Redgrave as Mary Debenham. The only thing I've ever seen her in is the first Mission Impossible film as Max. I haven't really seen her in much else. But I really like Sean Connery's interrogation scene. He plays it very cool until he doesn't, until he loses it. He says that he's traveling through land because he spent some time with a friend of his who is AOC.
AOC.
Aircraft order. I have to go back to exactly to see the exact phrase. Hold on. It is Air Commanding Officer, AOC. Air Officer Commanding. But I just laugh because at least to me, American politics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sean Connery is visiting his friend AOC. And then he loses his shit and he says,
Miss Debenham is not a woman.
That's not your mother, it's a man, baby!
Sean Connery is huge, and then he just lifts Jean-Pierre Cassel, turns him around, and gives him a punch in the face.
Yes. Classic punch.
This is where my notes start to come to an end because the movie's kind of wrapping up here, but
yeah,
this is,
that's funny because my last note is divorce story A+, because I just love that. I really like locked in, and I was like, okay, holy shit. Because
you locked as somebody getting divorced, you just really locked in with that.
Yeah, I was like, oh man,
I'm kidding.
I was like, oh man, is this foreshadowing? Am I? No, but my wife's probably listening to this. I'm sorry, babe, I love you. I was kidding.
I'm kidding.
No, just because we often talk about performances, and we will soon, as we're drawing nearer to the end, about his performance. But we don't have a lot of him in it, but when he shows up in the background a lot, we see his face a lot. We don't forget that he's in the movie. But yeah,
you can't forget anybody's in this movie. As I said earlier, he cast Connery so that he could then cast all these other stars, so that you wouldn't forget anybody.
And you're really leaning on that because you're very sus, because I was sus of Connery at the beginning because of which is the same reason that everyone else is sus, is because of him talking to her on the boat and saying like oh, not now, not till this is behind us, and we're like, oh, so maybe this is a plan, maybe she did it, he's helping or whatever, and like then obviously we find out it's everybody's doing it, but like,
and before he spills the beans, he leans into her and whispers something in her ear, and I'm guessing he's whispering like, I'll go with the divorce story we said. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. Like, we'll go to Plan A or whatever. But yeah, I think that's like the breakout performance where I'm like, holy shit, this is a great. He's so good at monologuing. Like he's just.
Well, I think I'm sorry, you said Plan A. I think Plan A was what they did, and then they have to make up Plan B through Z because Poirot was not supposed to be on this train. So.
Perhaps, yeah, because like. Again, how crazy is that? Because like I always assumed that like maybe somebody knew he was going to show up, but like they kind of like there is some nerve when they see him. They're like, oh well, crap, we're going to go through with this, but we have like the greatest detective in the world on this train, so this is like very, very, very unfortunate. This is happening.
So should we get into that spoiler? Should we reveal the?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, like I said, hopefully you guys are like listening.
Hopefully you guys are watching along.
Listening and watching.
If you're listening at along with the podcast, hopefully you have seen the film.
That's what I meant to say.
Because there's a lot here to spoil. So, should we just get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's hit it.
It's a good thing that dude is still asleep because I can't imagine. He doesn't seem like the type that would watch a lot of films.
Yeah, he might have not seen this.
I mean, like he literally is just dressed like he's from 1964. So I can't imagine he would have seen this film, let alone many films.
I spoiled Empire for him. It doesn't come out in like another like.
He's asleep. He doesn't. Thankfully, I mean, watch, squish his cheek.
Squish.
Yeah, look at that. He stopped making the noise that he was doing earlier. Still squishing though. Anyway, so. Spoilers from here on forward. There were 12 stab wounds in the body and in Ratchet's body, and it was discovered that he was drugged with sleeping pills.
Like a powder.
Yes. So, you know what? I'll just read through the wiki. The second. Okay. Poirot gathers the suspects and describes 2 solutions to the murder. He advises them to not automatically dismiss either. The first suggests Cassetti Ratchet. His murder was a mafia feud killing. An unknown man disguised himself as a conductor, stabbed Ratchet and Cassetti, and, disregarding the uniform coat, with the undetected assailant escaping from the train through the snow. This is rejected by Bianchi and Dr. Constantine as absurd, but Poirot tells them they may reconsider that option. The second, more complex and far-reaching solution links all the suspects in the coach to the Armstrong case. In addition to self-incriminating revelations, Poirot had managed to extract from Hardman, McQueen, Schmidt, and the princess. The detective has deduced that Countess Elena is actually Mrs. Armstrong's younger sister, Helena, with an H. The princess claimed the Armstrong's secretary was a Miss Freebody. This is in fact Mary Debenham, freely associated from the well-known British department store at the time known as Debenhams and Freebody. Beddoes was Armstrong's butler in the army. Greta Olson was Daisy's nursemaid. Colonel Arbuthnot was a close friend of Armstrong. Foscarelli was the family's chauffeur. Foscarelli was the family's chauffeur. Pierre was Paulette's father. Hardman was a policeman in love with Paulette. And Mrs. Hubbard is, in fact, Linda Arden, Mrs. Armstrong's mother, and arguably the brains behind the whole plan. McQueen had drugged Cassetti, rendering him unconscious and allowing the conspirators to murder him jointly. The Adrainies stabbing together, that's Michael York and Helena, stabbing together, totaling 12, the complement of a typical jury. Wounds of differing damage. The scream and broken watch were provided by McQueen to persuade Poirot that the murder had occurred earlier when the other suspects were in the clear. In fact, the suspects joined to commit the murder once Poirot had returned to sleep after 2 o'clock. The only passengers not involved in the murder are Signor Bianchi and Dr. Constantine. Poirot asks Bianchi to choose one solution before the train is freed from the snowdrift, but admits that the Yugoslavian police will much prefer the simple one. Bianchi, in sympathy with the suspects after learning how evil Cassetti was, proposes the first solution, and Dr. Constantine and Poirot agree, although he will struggle with his conscience. The train then, somewhat symbolically, is freed from the snowdrift and resumes its journey. Alrighty. And then everyone, that beautiful long shot of everyone toasting Lauren Bacall and Jacqueline Bisset, because everyone can be honest now. Everybody can be themselves. You know? They don't have to hide. They put on this whole ruse because Poirot is there. So,
and he's
now
he's so like that. See, I love that because we get that. We talk about Daniel Craig in Knives Out, how it's inspired because you get that.
No, it's just dumb.
It's just dumb. But like I love the classic whodunit scene where everyone's in the same room and the detective is just taking it out, and he's like, so this person was in this room at this time, and then and he's breaking it all down, and like it just you see all the connections where stuff like that I missed, where I'm like, yes, that person's connected there, and that's like I love that scene, and you see like the terror in all their faces when they're like, shit, he's getting closer, he's getting there, he's connecting the links. It's insane. He puts all the evidence down, the gun, the key, everything else, and it's frightening. And it's so good. I love that about whodunits, where how intense it is, and like I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, he's getting there, he's gonna figure it out.
So this was the first adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express, and I think this. So you were saying you missed these things, and I think part of the trick of it. One, it's a well-written mystery, but also part of the trick of it is casting so many well-known actors that you get caught up in the spectacle, you know? Also, Debenhams was a British department store chain. It was a real place. Anyway. But yeah, you're caught up in just how many amazing actors there are and just taking in these beautiful performances that you tend to miss plot points that, of course, Poirot is catching anyway. Like, I wouldn't have known... make a long distance call to my lawyers from a British person would have been make a trunk call to my solicitors.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little things like that where I wouldn't have known that. Hi, Alicia.
He caught you.
I'm trying to look.
You're doing things? Not you shot that?
Britt just gave me a crash course in product photos. Yes,
that's beautiful.
Shot that.
You shot it? It's dead?
It's dead. So they will promote us on the podcast.
Yeah, what do we got here?
She's starting her own business. Because like for the wedding, she made all like the little props and stuff that we had on the table centerpieces, like
very
potion
nice.
bottles. So she's like been inspired to do a shop. So yeah, you might be our first sponsor. Who knows?
Awesome. Payday.
Give me pointers.
That's
Sorry.
awesome.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye.
Good to see you.
Sorry.
Bye, Alicia.
All right. Sorry about that. Where were you?
No sorries. But yeah, you're just so distracted. I was just so distracted. But it reminds me of Inglourious Bastards. Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
So when Michael Fassbender puts up his hand to show the number 3, and he does that incorrectly.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm like, oh wow, yeah. Of course, other cultures would indicate 3 in a different way. You know. So and those little things are definitely easier to miss, but there's a lot of stuff I found myself kicking myself like, how did I not even catch that? But definitely there were cultural things as well, like when Finney calls out Hildegard Schmidt, so you're a good cook, right? And she said, yes, all my ladies love my cooking. And that's when he figures it out. I didn't know what he was figuring out, but then he reveals it's like, okay, as a lady's maid, you wouldn't be cooking for them. And I have to go, okay, what year is this taking place in? 35, December 1935. I'm thinking, okay, does a lady's maid not cook? I guess not. I guess a cook would cook and the lady's maid would wait on the lady. I don't know. You good?
Yeah, sorry, just like bananas. Things are getting bananas, but it's fine. It's fine. We're towards the end anyway.
Who's getting the bananas?
There's I might be
picking up bananas.
I might be getting the bananas.
Why? What's up with?
Oh no.
Do you like bananas?
I love bananas. It's always good to have potassium, especially with my health.
I don't really like bananas that much.
Me either.
I like banana bread.
Yeah, the actual that's like I feel like it's fruit for a lot of things. Like there's very little. I don't like the actual fruit or vegetable, but if it's like mixed in a different way, like I'm not crazy about spinach by itself, but spinach in a calzone's great.
I agree. Spinach on pasta or pizza or something. I do like spinach by itself. Actually, I prefer to eat a spinach salad than to cook the spinach.
I like the spinach cooked rather than raw. Alicia likes spinach.
This is why this podcast works.
Because we are just two cooked spinaches making a podcast.
Jack Sprat could eat no fat, and his wife could eat no lean. That's us.
Precisely.
Except it's spinach.
So yeah.
Any more notes that I have? Finney just fucking kills it for the last half hour of the film.
He's a maniac. I love it.
I mean, he kills it in the whole film. He is the star of this film. But just the long reveal, as I said, 27 minutes. The final scene in which Poirot relates his solution to the crime had to be shot countless times, as it required more angles than could be captured in a single take and more cameras than could fit on the confining dining car set. The multiple takes were especially challenging for Finney, whose uninterrupted monologue was 8 pages long, but many cast members later recalled the tedium of sitting motionless for so long, maintaining their physical posturing for continuity, bolstered only by their professional drive to provide support for Finney's tour de force. It really is. That is the star of the film, is Finney just laying it out. Though Ingrid Bergman did win an Oscar for her performance, which was very good. She was very good. Born backwards. And like little things. One of the little things I noticed, which Poirot then called out later, he's like, "You don't understand a lot of English words, but you know what emolument means." I had to look up what emolument means.
Yeah,
it's a payment. Like I'm gonna get this right. Hold on. Emolument. A salary, fee, or profit from employment or office. So a payment. So she knows what that means, but she doesn't know I was born backwards to teach little brown babies. Like, so I think that's when Poirot picks it up. Okay, she's part of this too. Yeah, her performance is really good. Also, I was rewatching The Godfather recently. There's the line where Diane Keaton says, "Would you like me more if I was Ingrid Bergman?" And Pacino, as Michael Corleone, goes, "Now there's a thought." And that's right as they walk by the newspaper that says the veto is shot. And Kay is like, Michael goes, "No, I would not think you were more. I would not like you better if you were Ingrid Bergman." But then I looked it up, and I'm looking at her in this movie, and she's very pretty. Mm-hmm. And then I look at her as a younger woman. I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah, star, absolute Hollywood icon. So, that's Ingrid Bergman.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
Absolute gorgeous. And absolutely incredible in this film. And I guess my final notes are that York is brutal with his stabbing. The way he like forces his wife to do it. But I don't know, it was good. It was like, this is for the pain you've caused my wife. But it's also still pretty brutal. Like, she doesn't want to do it, man. Maybe you just go ahead and do it. There's also a moment where John Gielgud, another great actor, another all-time great, as Beddoes. He takes a stab, and then he is about to hand the knife to Cassel as Pierre, the doorman there, and I can see it in their eyes that it's a mess up. Like, Gielgud is not supposed to give it to Cassel, and Cassel just gives him a little hint with his eyes, like, no, turn around, give it to that guy. So little film flubs, but it makes the take more powerful, I think, because he's just so overwhelmed with emotion. And then my final note is train plow heart. That train plow is really cool. I just thought it was just really cool watching the train plow snow.
Yeah, just
and then
the whole thing.
Ultimately, all the snow being knocked over at the end was kind of like relieving, like a pimple you finally pop.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I was wondering the whole time, it's like, I was wondering how they were going to do it. I assumed that the train would just like back up a few miles, and there was
just
like
speed forward.
Nope, try it again. And then the whole movie they keep trying to bang into the snowbank. But no, I was like,
people just keep getting thrown out of the front window from the impact.
At the time, the suspects keep dying. It's just like they keep leaving. But no,
and then cuts to John Wayne, like, I don't want that body hanging there. Go get it.
I don't want that hanging over there on the icicle. Come on, get it down from there. But no, I assumed that they were just gonna like back up the train like a few hours and like across a switch track, and like the plow would come through and clear the track. But like, no, it's coming from the front. I'm like,
Yeah.
aren't they gonna push the snow against the Orient Express? But I mean, it worked. However, it worked.
It just clears enough space for them both to
Because
get
it kind of
through.
goes separate. Like it is enough. The two ramps on the side that kind of help really separate it, which is
It's that arrow shape.
Yeah, so it's very, very pleasing when you see the last bit. Like, there it is. Nice.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
it's like watching a car getting cleaned on TikTok. That's my TikTok feed is dogs, guitars, and like people cleaning stuff, like old things, and it's like so satisfying. I love that. Like one of my favorite games of all time is Power Wash Simulator, where you just clean houses and cars, and then like Alicia always makes fun of me. He's like, "Why don't you just do that at the actual house?" And I'm like, "Nah, this is more fun.
You can make money that way."
True, but you can also make fake money in this game. And, and at one point, there's like fun missions where you can go on the moon and you clean a moon rover. Like,
oh my god!
And you can clean like a dinosaur statue.
But the water just starts floating away.
Yeah, no, it just somehow gravity just it's the moon landing scene from Diamonds Are Forever. And the rover comes through the wall and then escapes.
Everyone's driving it, walking at like 1 mile an hour.
Yeah, it's like, hey, get him. And that's my favorite part of that movie. We'll talk about it when the movie comes out, but how they're chasing after him, but they still keep the gimmick of being in low gravity.
Slow motion, yeah.
Get him.
And what are they trying to say there? Are they saying that the moon landing was faked, or are they just saying, like, what are they saying with that?
Say it again.
I don't know. We'll get to it when we get to diamonds. Oh, wait, what did you say?
No, what'd you say? I missed. You cut out for me for a second.
Oh, I was just wondering what they're trying to say by having that fake moon landing set, like in that movie. Is it a sting on, or is it a burn on the U.S. government or something? Like, you faked the moon landing, or
maybe
is it saying that the moon landing was faked? I don't think the moon landing was faked,
but Ian Fleming did. I say
that's why he wrote it in Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever.
And then Blofeld is dressed as a woman.
One of my favorite quotes from the last Connery Cures, James Bonding, our sister podcast, our brother podcast, was they talk about Goldfinger. It's like, oh, what you think about Goldfinger? Oh, I died during the making of that, you see. How you
I
talk
don't know
to
if they
us
would
now?
consider us relatives in any sense.
No, we're distant relatives. We're like that. We're like that.
The cousin that shows up that you don't want at the party.
It's like, yeah, we're definitely related. Come on now. We're like, I don't know.
Speaking of people that weren't wanted at the party, Poirot in this movie. I think the whole thing would have just gone smoothly if Poirot wasn't there. Everyone had to, like, that's why all these weird clues were just left around. Like, because they were scrambling. They were scrambling to come up with a cover story that they didn't need because they weren't expecting Poirot to be on the train. And that's what that disembodied 80-yard voice says at 1:50:45. You know? They weren't expecting you to be on the train. And Poirot says, yeah, exactly. I was hoping for somebody else to say that besides myself. Which also made me think, maybe is that ADR voice supposed to represent the audience? Anyway, so that's I'm out of notes here.
Me too. I think we've reached, I think, the end of the film.
Yeah.
So
we got some time in here. We're about 1:45 in-ish.
Yeah, so I guess we can like discuss our scores here.
I guess so.
Yeah. So I think we'll have you start. I think you started last time.
Well,
I started last time. For the audience, of course, if this is your first time here.
I just lost my train of thought.
I'll say if you guys are here for the first time, at the end of each film, we give 2 ratings. We rate the film itself, and of course, the man behind the podcast, Sean Connery. We also rate his performance in the film.
He is the man behind the podcast. He didn't die.
Sometimes the man in the podcast, he'll show up.
He went to
sometimes.
hiding and started this podcast.
Yes, and we just record it for him, and he edits the podcast on his Macintosh.
There's an H on that one. I don't even have to pretend it. It's not a Macintosh computer.
It's a Macintosh. Oh, you had a little Roger Moore there. Oh yes, Q. It's
not a Macintosh computer, Q. It's a
Macintosh, Q, not a banana. That's my favorite. I don't know why. I always quote that. It's like, so it's a nose, Q, not a banana. I don't know why. I always come to that quote.
What were we talking about bananas just 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, we're a lot of this is banana curious.
Huh. All right. Well, our 2 ratings. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I would like you to go first.
You'd like me to go first. Okay. Which rating would you like first?
Give me the film.
The film. Okay. I loved this film. I could show this film to anybody, and I had a great time watching it, and I would easily watch it again, which is why, Mario, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Let me pull up the document here to write these down. So 10 out of 10 for me for the film. You know what? You go ahead and give your... I think we should give film, Sean.
Okay. Dylan, I think I gotta agree with you. I think I gotta give it a 10 because, man, this film was so much fun. And
don't do it on my account.
No, I gotta do it on my account as well because, yeah, I was really pleased with it. There was no like part of it where I was kind of like, oh, that could have been done better. That could have been here. That could have been there. It was a great time. And for the first time, I think, I mean, yeah, we had films we enjoyed too, but this is the one where I kind of was like, oh, it's over. You know, it's like, oh, I wanted some more. I wouldn't mind.
Kill somebody else.
Go for another 2 hours and have him solve another mystery at the train station or something. But no, yeah, it was just really fun, and like I had a great time.
Murder off the Orient Express.
Yeah, that should be a sequel. Off the Orient Express. Moments after. It's like Casino Royale to Quantum of Solace. It takes place moments after the first movie ends. But yeah, dude.
Oh, not again.
But like, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I think story-wise, it's great. Cinematography-wise, amazing. Really believed it. Nothing took me out of the movie. I really believed they were in that mountain range, stuck, and just all the tense moments. And I had a blast with it. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it a solid 10 as well.
Hell yes. So a 10 from you, a 10 from me on the film. You'd watch it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our Sean ratings.
All right.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll have you go first, as we did for the first rating.
I'm giving him a 10.
Hell yeah, 10. What's your reasoning for it?
He was great. He's only in a couple minutes. The same thing I did for The Longest Day. He was only in it for a couple of minutes. The difference with The Longest Day was I wasn't enjoying that film. I was loving this film. But he is perfect in it. Every line he does, perfectly delivered. Every action, perfect. He is not in it much, but when he is great, and I love watching him. And when it finally came time for Arbuthnot's interrogation, I was happy. And when that interrogation bled over into the interrogation of Debenham, and he loses his shit, and it becomes more Connery, more of a scene with Connery. You know what I mean? I thought my big Connery scene was over, but he's lingering into this one too. It just made me so happy. And then he lifts up Jean-Pierre Cassel and just punches him in the face. Or is it Jean? Well, hold on. Sure, I have that right. Yes, Jean-Pierre Cassel as Pierre Paul.
And I was shocked. No cliche punch sound effect.
There was. It was a decent little punch sound.
It wasn't as loud as you would hear in a Bond film, for example. It's
no.
Which I kind of want to edit that in because that always makes me laugh. And for a quick a little joke I had in my head was that was the most action we saw with Connery in this movie. So I want it to be a quick clip of the beginning of the 007 theme, and it stops after he makes the punch.
Bum, 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 bum.
Then he hits it, and it stops.
That's it. Yeah, that's really the only spot it could go. Or like any of the happy music where the train is going. The train is just chugging along, You could have that theme there. Any shot of the train moving. All right. Well, that's my Sean rating, 10 out of 10. What are you giving him?
I got to give him... I think because my biggest factors going in is amount of time we saw him in wasn't a ton, but when we did have him on screen, he was great. I think he was fantastic, and believe it or not, this might be a Connery Curious first. I think I am also going to give him a 10.
You sure?
Yes, he was so good in this, so compelling, and scores that bring down Connery. Scores factors are just him being there, him being present, how he is as a character. We despised him in Avengers and a couple other films, Action of the Tiger, because of the not because of the little time he was in, but just how he was as a person. We didn't like it. It was very uncomfortable. You get that kind of weird thing when he's making out with the girl at the beginning. We're kind of like, this is not gonna be weird, is it? No, it's fine. They're just in love.
No, they're actually. Well, I don't know. Do you think they're in love?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they're in love.
Yeah, he's like I want to marry her. That's the thing.
You think their divorce story is real?
I think it's got to be. Maybe a cover up. Who knows? But with that being said, I just think his performance is great. He's just fantastic. He is eating scenery when he's on the camera. Because when we're going through these interrogation scenes, I'm like, oh man, when's he gonna show up? And he was the one where I was like, man, he is fantastic, and I am excited to see him again. It's kind of like coming back to Longest Day. When you see him, you're so excited to see him. Like, oh, thank God you're still here. So I think that's the factor and a reason why we started this podcast, because we loved him so much, and I loved him in this. So that being said, 10 for me for Connery. Double 10s.
Damn. Well, yeah, that is the first for this podcast. He's got an average of 10 across the board. And also, for final rating, the SH is a 6, I'd say. Does the SH? Where would you put that at?
Yeah, probably a 6, because he really is kind of leaning on, because he is English in this as his character, so he really was more English. So he didn't H as much. So I'd probably put in that 5 or 6. I would give him a 5.
Okay. I dig it. All right, Mario. That means we have reviewed the film, we have rated the film, we have rated Sean Connery, and now it's time for what we do every week. Is it your turn? Is it my turn? I always forget. Always forget.
I think it's mine, actually.
I think it is your turn.
So that being said, let me pull it up real quick.
Pull it up. Share your screen. And make sure Murder on the Orient Express has been removed. Something's always going on with that.
I'm not
it's
sure.
Not removing the last one.
It's funny because, like I said, we just did we did a giveaway on Friggin' Nerds, and we also used Wheel of Names. And that was a very bananas one. We had over 406 has 406 entries. So that was a very scary wheel. But yeah, for some reason, when it seems like when another person logs in, it doesn't save properly. We have to like kind of reload it. It's interesting. But I'm checking in right now. Murder. I don't think it's.
Are they in
here.
alphabetical order still?
Oh,
here.
no,
Sort them in alphabetical order. Nope, we're good. It's off.
No, it's right here. I see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, it's weird. It's like shows up for. Okay, so there we go.
It's not on mine, but it's on yours. All right, share that screen, my friend.
All right, so me. Bleep, 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 bleep. Riveting podcast. All right, here it is. Can you see it?
I can. Alrighty.
Okay, so as you guys know, each week we pull out the Wheel of Curiosities to spin for our next Connery film in Connery Curious history. So, with that being said, the next... we got to do the thing. So it's time, Dylan, to spin the Wheel of Curiosities. The next man. We were so close to Russia with Love. We were so close.
Oh, it was the next one. Oh, my gosh.
And A Bridge Too Far was under that.
The next man. Well, that's funny, actually. Did you shuffle the list beforehand?
No, I just opened it to wherever it was. It was just like that when I got in there.
Yeah, shuffle it each time we do it. But, I mean, it still looks shuffled, but I try to give it a shuffle every time we spin it. Because it was on the wheel there. It was right next to A Bridge Too Far, which is the next film after it.
Oh, interesting.
The Next Man, also known as The Arab Conspiracy or Double Hit, is a 1976 American political action thriller film starring Sean Connery, Adolfo Celli from Thunderball, Cornelia Sharp, and Charles Cioffi. Cioffi? Adolfo Celli plays Largo in Thunderball.
That's right.
Critical reaction at its opening was not positive. Oh, boy. Alrighty, well. Directed by Richard C. Sarafin. Alrighty, well, I guess production. Connery's casting was announced in January 1976. That's it. That's how the film was produced. We cast Connery, and then it exists.
That's it.
Alrighty, well, it looks like our next film is 1976's The Next Man. So we would jump from 74 to 76.
There it is. And of course, we always tell you guys to check your local libraries to rent it. But if you guys don't find it there, you can also stay at home and rent it through Prime Video for a whopping $2.99. And I think that was
else?
I think that was it. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Let me double check. Let me hit watch movie here.
Man.
I'm always seeing Prime Video.
Yeah, Prime Video, that's it.
So Prime Video, and check
you can rent it for $3. You can buy it for $5.
And if you're crazy, you can go to find the Blu-ray somewhere. Some Blu-rays I think are around. Let me see. For example, for funsies, they're like, oh geez, they're very pricey. That's a $22 Blu-ray. But
I hope it's a good movie.
Yeah, same.
I mean, if Sword of the Valiant Blu-ray is going for $45.
Yeah, well, that's deserving. That's
yeah, exactly. So this film's got to be at least half as good as Sword of the Valiant.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Mario.
Dylan. So.
Did you forget who I was?
I almost called you. Shirley.
Wait, hey, speaking of Shirley, we got to check on Sean.
Sean.
I mean, he's definitely dead, but we should poke. Oh, this guy's still asleep.
Let's sneak over back to the other car because we had him in the other car. Let's go check that out.
Excuse me. Let's squish his face one more time before we go.
Squish.
Awesome. Okay. So open the door here. Oh my God. Everyone's dead.
Oh my God. Geez.
Oh my God. This has been multiple murders on the Orient Express. I think we'll just go back here with this guy sleeping. Oh my God. There's another guy in here and he's eating a watermelon. What is going on? This is a train. This train is madness, Mario.
Is that Red Grant?
Oh my God! All right, I propose an idea.
Yes.
It's two options. We either get off this train right now, or we take over this train. It'll be the first great train robbery. What do you say?
Let's do it.
We'll be time bandits.
Okay, let's do that. And
we'll hold this train for ransom. That'll be the real offense.
And let's go. You know what? Let's go to another car, and bring our equipment with us. We'll record the next episode in the next car.
I think we do that.
Let's do that.
The next man in the next cart.
The next cart. Perfect.
All right, let's do that. So we'll stay on the train, but we also won't rob it.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll do this. We're gonna podcast from each train car.
Okay, and we'll hope that we don't get murdered.
Yes, because
there's definitely a murderer on the Orient Express, just slaughtering wholesale.
Yeah, and hopefully we can find like another. We might find if we land on a movie with a guest. Hopefully that guest is on this train, because that's gonna be awkward. How are we gonna contact our guest? This is 1930, but there's no phones.
Yeah, well, and we gotta hope that they're at that station.
Yeah, so we gotta try
the next station.
I mean, what time's the plow gonna get here? We've been stuck on this ice chasm.
Oh, look, there's Homer Simpson.
Oh,
Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
All right, I think I've worn out my improvisational energy here. Let's just go into the next train car, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
right.
Connery Curiosity people, is that what we call them? Curious Connerys?
Yeah, we'll see you at the next stop.
The next stop. So, until then, I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus.
And as always, stay curious.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
You opening a dress shop?
No.